You know, empowering women in the workplace, I think, is incredibly important in all societies. And our goal here, among others, is to think about, how we can advance that, through dialogue, through workshops.
What I have found is that a lot of people may not consider themselves leadership potential, but it's really about what you see in another person that can help somebody on their leadership journey.
As a senior guy working for Morgan Stanley, we care a lot about diversity, and we work very hard for gender diversity and racial diversity.
Let's start with the situations. Japan, still men occupies leadership positions. In political world, situation does not look great. In the private sector, situation is improving, but only 12.6% of board senior executive are women. This is less than half of the U.S.
And then when I start to talk to the females in Japan, whether it's a Morgan Stanley or affiliate MUFG and other places, I realize that the environment surrounding the Japanese women in the workplace is absolutely behind the global standards.
So things are changing. A lot of Japanese companies are surprisingly aggressively recruiting Japanese women who have managerial experience.
But what do you see the role of for Japanese men in this conversation, and for men more broadly as allies?
A lot of female, particularly when they have a challenge on the life-changing events like having a baby or having elderly parents you need to take care of, and unfortunately women has more share to do those things. And people will go through the challenge of work-life balance. So they were talking about the importance of saving those people to give the message that you are not alone. Because a lot of females have gone through the experience. So, try to give the encouragement to say, you can do it and we will help you is a quite important thing. And I couldn't believe, as a senior management, as a male senior management, I didn't recognize how important it was. Her daughter, the same daughter, got the cancer when she was 2 years old. And I remember when I heard the news, I did what I'm supposed to do. I told her, relax, and to take a time off, and we can do the flex and so on, but you don't need to give up the job opportunity. And she still remembered that. And she sent me, 10 years later, she sent me a thank you note, and I was so moved about the opportunity we can do to help them.
In the Japan context, when you go to, there are lots of events like this, right? Where you're gonna meet people, everybody is exchanging meishi, right? You go home, your success is like, how many meishi did I collect? How many people did I meet? How many connections did I make? For me, my goal is usually 3. 3 cards. If I can get 3 cards from people and have conversations with them about things that are not about work, because we all know we work, we all know we're hard workers, but let's talk about things that, I love movies, I love to travel, I have guinea pigs. Those are the things, I try to put that in every conversation. But, those are the things that I think help to foster connection with people as human beings and allow people to be seen more than just their work and what they can produce. And what I do is I go home with those 3 meishi, I write down notes of our conversations, what we talked about, and that for me triggers remembering who I talked to, who I met. And then when I go back to Japan, or if I go to another event or I see them, I remember a connecting point that has nothing to do with yesterday's election or what the yen figures are for travel or things like that. So that, I think, is just one example of, in this particular context, the way that I connect with people. When we talk about these issues, when we talk about including women in leadership, the numbers of CEOs that we don't have, or if the pace is quick enough, we have to recognize that this is a marathon and not a sprint, and be honest and upfront and say that. Say, look, as an organization, we're not going to be able to solve it all today. And if we have interim goals, then at the end, if we get to 50% parity for CEOs of women on boards and leading Fortune 500 companies, that's still not the end goal. but that is, something that we can work towards.
I would like to encourage many of you. First of all, if you are offered some managerial position, even don't think about it and grab, because you need to practice. You can learn, you can improve. Then think if you can kind of becoming sort of managing experience with managing people, having a title of kacho and bucho, you may or may not be able to be a senior executive in your company that you're working right now, but I think there is a more chance to work for Japanese company.
I try to mentor a lot of people in Morgan Stanley, agents, and I try to help particular Asian female, because there are, more challenges. If I can do it, then anybody can do it.